I had some more things to ask.
Shoot.
I'm trying to find out who lives in an apartment over on Lemire Road. Any ideas?
Not sure, but there should be address records somewhere. I would suggest that you check with the commissary.
What are your conclusions about Carl's murder?
Just like the previous case, the cause of death is blood loss due to sharp force trauma to the upper body. The murder weapon looks similar to the one used on the previous victim. The victim has a bruised chest, likely from the impact of a hard fall to the floor. And this makes me believe that Carl was attacked from the front and fell to the ground, twisting as he fell. The killer then continued this brutal onslaught from behind to finish the job. Contrary to the previous case, I couldn't find any defense wounds on the victim. The killer would have to be both strong and fast to overpower Carl like that before he could react and call for help. It's certainly not impossible, but I think it's unlikely that a woman could pull that off without considerable training. This leads me to believe that the person we are looking for is likely an adult male in good physical shape. The time of death was sometime late last night, around 10 to 12 hours ago.
All right, now that you've seen both bodies, do you have a theory?
I think it's very likely that a single perpetrator is responsible for both killings. The MO is the same, and the murder weapons share close similarities. Both murders were premeditated. The killer came well prepared with the clear goal of killing each victim. The lack of struggle during the second attack could be an indication that the murderer learned from their mistakes during the first assault.
Okay, thanks for your input.
Think nothing of it. Happy to help.
What do you make of this?
The handwriting looks feminine, but I'm not sure what to make of the contents.
What are your conclusions about Maya's murder?
Most obvious first. The cause of death is acute blood loss due to the multiple stab wounds to the chest and stomach, 2 of which were lethal. The murder weapon is a mid-sized blade, likely a knife of some kind. What else? Oh, yeah. I couldn't recover any biological traces of the murderer. There's no blood on her that isn't hers, or any traces of skin under her nails. This makes me suspect that the killer likely wore the time of death was roughly...
So there's this locked door that I'm trying to get through.
Unless this door needs medical attention, I'd suggest asking someone else.
That's enough questions for now.
Okie dokie.
I had a few questions, Commissary.
By all means.
What do you know about the murder in the locker room over at the workshop hall?
Not much. As you know, the murder happened shortly before you arrived, so I'm leaving the matter in your capable hands.
Did you know Carl Oscarson?
I wouldn't say so. He and my son were playmates as children, but they grew apart in their teens. Haven't talked to Carl myself for many years.
Can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Me? Oh, I've been doing this job for 15 years now. I took over when the previous commissary died. I'm married with 3 children. Anita, my youngest, is off studying science in the city now. We're counting the days to Christmas when she comes back to visit.
What's your opinion on Stina Ruth?
I respect her. She's a competent politician. She gets things done, unlike some of the other people on the council. Sure, she has a temper, and she's not the most tactful person, but she calls out bullshit when she sees it. When I'm right, she has my back, and when I'm wrong, well, she won't let me revel in my sweet ignorance for long.
Did you know Maya Strand?
Not at all. Museums aren't my cup of tea. I prefer to not dwell on the past.
What do you think of Dr. Pearson?
Oh, he's a fine man. Sure, a bit eccentric, but a really good physician. Treated my knee way back. Good as new.
I'm trying to find out who lives in an apartment at Mimir Road. Any ideas?
We have address records in here. Check the drawers behind me.
Perfect. I'll have a look in a bit. What do you make of this?
Not sure, but if you need to know when somebody came to town, I'd suggest looking in the citizens' records behind me.
Right. I might do that if I can figure out who wrote this note. Any idea of what this opens?
Nope, not a clue.
Do you know who the woman in this picture is?
No idea, sorry.
I've got a locked door that I need to get through. Is there a locksmith around?
There is, but he's out of town until tomorrow. Can it wait?
Not really. I'll figure something out. That's all I needed.
Very well.
Just lots of case files. Just lot. The drawer is labeled Address Records. These should come in handy. I'll be able to match a name to an address, or vice versa. Let's have a look. Katarina Berg, born February 2nd, 56 AR. Immigrated to Nordson on May 13th, 80 AR, which means she's been in Nordson for 2 years. I copied the information onto a loose page from my notebook. No need to do that again. Yeah, this just confirms what Anderson told me. I don't think I need to look her up. I don't think I need to look him up. As expected, nothing new. I don't think I... Katarina Berg, born February 2nd, 56 AR. Immigrated to Nordson on May 13th, 80 AR, which means she's been in Nordson for 2 years. Yeah, based on the note from Carl's coat, the immigration date is important somehow. Katarina Berg, born February 2nd, 56 AR. Immigrated to Nordson on May 13th, 80 AR, which means she's been in Nordson for 2 years. Hi, Doofus. You're registered now. Go try it out. Remember how you totally flipped the day I first came to Nordsund? Kisses. Hello again, Constable.
Hello, Agent.
Sorry, I didn't catch your name before.
It's Gabriel Adamson, ma'am.
All right then. I had some questions, Gabriel.
Sure, let's hear it.
What can you tell me about yourself?
Not much to tell. I grew up here in Nordsund, and all my family is here. The commissary is my uncle. He's always been the one who encouraged me to become a policeman.
So, how long have you been a cop?
8 years now.
Wow, 8? Must have started young.
Yep, started as a trainee at age 16.
I see. I've got a locked door that I need to get through.
We have a guy for that sort of thing, but I think he's out of town.
All right, that's too... What do you know about the murder in the museum?
I was first at the scene. Poor woman. Looked like she had regained consciousness after some time and tried to crawl to the door.
Sounds horrific. I don't envy her. Do you know who Katarina Berg is?
Doesn't sound familiar, no.
Did you know Maya Strand?
Not really. I knew of her, sure. Most people in Nordsund do, because of her importance to the museum. I hardly ever even saw her around, though. From what I hear, she was a bit of a recluse.
All right, I'm off.
Good luck out there.
Katarina Berg, born February 2nd, 56 AR. Immigrated to Nordsund on May 13th, 80 AR, which means she's been in Nordsund for 2 years. Hi, Doofus. You're registered now. Go try it out. Remember how you totally flipped the day I first came to Nordsund? Kisses. Katarina Berg, born February 2nd, 56 AR. Immigrated to Nordsund on May 13th, 80 AR, which means she's been in Nordsund for 2 years. Hey, Sven?
Yeah?
Do you know who Katarina Berg is?
Sounds familiar. That could be someone who lives here, but I'm not sure.
Thanks. You can get back to work.
Alrighty.
Hey, Sven?
Yeah?
No, this note is just a reminder to myself. I don't need to show it to anyone. What do you think of this?
Looks intentionally vague, like they didn't want the wrong person to accidentally read it.
Yeah, that's my guess too. Any idea of what it means?
Not really, sorry.
Thanks. You can get back to work.
Alrighty.
Hi, Doofus. You're registered now. Go try it out. Remember how you totally flipped the day I first came to Nordsund? Kisses. Katarina Berg. Born February 2nd, 56 AR. Immigrated to Nordsund on May 13th, 80 AR, which means she's been in Nordsund for 2 years. Katarina Berg. Born February 2nd, 56 AR. Immigrated to Nordsund on May 13th, 80 AR, which means she's been in Nordsund. Katarina Berg. Born February 2nd, 56 AR. Immigrated to Nordsund on May 13th, 80 AR, which means she's been in Nordsund for 2 years. Katarina Berg. Born February 2nd, 56 AR. Immigrated to Nordsund on May 13th, 80 AR, which means she's been in Nordsund for 2 years. Katarina Berg. Born February 2nd, 56 AR. Immigrated to Nordsund on May 13th, 80 AR, which means she's been in Nordsund for 2 years. Wow, a code and a fingerprint? These people have absurd safety concerns. Still won't open. The code lock must be blocking the door. I did that already. Looks like it's waiting for a fingerprint input. Can't use my own, obviously. Katarina Berg. It's a bloody photograph of he's holding hands with the woman. She's wearing a brass. That won't produce a fingerprint. That won't produce a... I don't think extra strength helps them.